Hello, my friends, and welcome back. New Monday, new week, new opportunities, and new war. Unfortunately, or fortunately, actually, because the war happens against Iran, the main and key ally of Russia with their war against Ukraine. So, Trump with Israel launched an operation Epic Fury. Yeah, that's the name of it. They launched it at 28th of February, the last day of February. Now it's 2nd of March, so 2 days later and a little bit more, we have a lot of footage, a lot of information, and we have witnessed the destruction of almost every Iranian air defense system and missile site in existence. In this video, we're gonna go through all of the events, footages, photos, everything that is come out about this war in the last 2 days. And we begin with Iranian losses. One of the first targets that was struck on 28th of February was the Iranian port of Konarak actually. There were a lot of naval assets Iranian Navy had there, and these ships were sunk. They were actually sunk. If you still didn't get the intensity of this war, this is a full-scale war against Iran. Every military connected asset will be destroyed or has been destroyed. This includes these ships. We're talking about 3 ships: Iris Yamaran, Iris Bayandor, and Iris Nakdi. And our 4th unidentified vessel was also sunk. Here you can see a satellite imagery, what was left of this military port. In addition to the ships, also the facilities are blown to smithereens. I mean, look at that. These are precision strikes right on the buildings. Everything is gone. This is a satellite image of the ships when they were still afloat but on fire. Now a day later they were already turned into submarines and they joined the Russian cruiser Moskva. What I really want to show you about the attack of Konarak, the port, is that they had 4 hardened jet silos. See these ones right here. These are concrete defense silos for fighter jets or any kind of aerial assets. Well, you can see these small holes right smack in the middle of these silos. That shows the accuracy of United States and Israeli bombs that flew exactly in the center of these hardened silos, penetrated them and exploded inside, destroying whatever was inside. We can know this by the black debris that exploded outwards of the opening of the silos. 4 silos destroyed, and whatever was inside is now gone, knocked out cold. Let's travel to the Isfahan North Missile Base of Iran. This is a satellite imagery of the checkout building, which means the building where missiles and vehicles and people go on the ground, because the base is underground. Majority of Iranian missile bases are. This is the building where they go on the ground. The building is destroyed, if you couldn't tell by the hole on the roof. Also, at the very moment of this attack, an Iranian launcher was traveling on this road away from the base, I guess to the launch site to strike Israel, I'm guessing. Well, no more. This launcher was destroyed where it rode, right smack in the middle of the road. This is what Tehran, the capital of Iran, has looked like for the past almost 3 days. Almost non-stop bombardment, because Israel and United States have achieved a total air dominance and air supremacy. First it was dominance, then it was supremacy, because Iranian Air Force is non-existent now and their air defense systems mostly destroyed. Iran has practically become a shooting gallery for the American and Israeli Air Force, as air defense layers have been compromised. Jets sit at high altitude waiting for Iranian ballistic missile launchers to pop up and shoot so they can be targeted. And we'll look at later in this video how this exactly happens, because Iran has massive amounts of missiles. We're talking thousands and hundreds of these launchers. So whenever they pop up in different places across the country, they will be destroyed minutes later by Iranian and United States F-22s, F-35s, F-16s. Another target destroyed by the IDF is the General Staff Headquarters of Iran's Internal Security Forces, Tehran headquarters, which served as the command responsible for defending Tehran against military threats, and connected to it 4 American B-2 stealth bombers flew round trip from the United States, dropping dozens of 2,000-pound bombs on underground ballistic missile sites in Iran. These bombs, bunker busters, they are designed to penetrate meters, many meters of concrete and explode under there. So they leave a small hole, but they make a big kaboom on the ground. And we all know the majority of Iranians' targets are underground. What about the Iranian command structure? The leader of the country, the president, the generals, this is a war. It already has a Wikipedia page. And just to illustrate, what are the losses on both sides? Well, it is United States and Israel versus Iran. The United States led by, in the blue corner, of course, Donald Trump, Pete Hegseth, Dan Kane, Brad Cooper. On the Israeli aid, Benjamin Netanyahu, Israel Katz, Eyal Zamir, and Domer Bar. And on the Iranian side, I'm not gonna even read you all of the names, but every name that has an X behind it is gone, eliminated, turned into manure. Now this information is 1 day old, so by today, all of them might be gone. And we begin, of course, by Ali Khamenei, the leader, the Ayatollah, gone, taken out. And if we zoom out a little bit more, 2023, 7th of October, we all know what happened. IDF reported now that they have eliminated all of the Iranian command structure since the 7th of October when the 12-day war started. Now on this footage, very important footage because it's filmed in Iran near the capital and you can see a United States Reaper drone. Why is it so important? Well, first of all, it's flying so low that people can see it. It's flying so slow. Why? Well, that only means that the United States is so confident in their total air supremacy, so they can fly very expensive drones so slow and so low. What this drone does now in front of our eyes is that moments after Iranian ballistic missile launcher launches a missile, this Reaper drone follows it up with its own missile. And you can see the moment the Reaper drone finds the launcher and shoots it right now. Check it out. Boom, the missile goes out. So it's an immediate targeting. If you are a crew of an Iranian ballistic missile launcher, you launch a missile a few moments later, you are no more. They will find you and they will target you. On another satellite photo, we saw 4 Iranian MiG-29 fighter jets destroyed on the ground, never lifted up. I think majority of the F-4 Phantoms that were left from the Shah era of Iran, the United States Air Force that they had, were destroyed in the previous war with Israel already, in the 12-day war. Here is a strike map, 1 day old, so it's already changed. And let me remind you, this only has 4% of the strikes on it. Red are Iranian strikes against other countries. Blue are Israel's and United States strikes against Iran. And you can see Israel has been struck with Jordan, Syria, United Arab Emirates, Qatar, Dubai, port of Tum in Oman, many countries. Also British, United States and French military bases in the region have been struck by Iranian missiles and drones. And as soon as this war started on 28th of February, Iran announced the closure of the Strait of Hormuz. Now, a big portion of the world's seaborne crude oil flows through this Strait of Hormuz, meaning the closure of it should spike the oil prices. We will see that today, what the oil prices do, the markets opened. If they spike, it's good for Russia. We will see it. In all logic, they should. Talking about Russia, what is their reaction? Let me remind you that Russia, Vladimir Putin, signed a mutual military defense partnership pact with Iran, also with Venezuela. Both countries, pretty much, I promise to defend you if anybody attacks you. Pretty much a NATO Article 5 thingy that they signed with Iran and with Venezuela. We all know how it went with Venezuela. Venezuela also asked for Russia's help, and Russia gave them diplomatic support. Well, how Russia responded to the Iranian pleas for help, because Iranian government actually officially turned to Russia saying that, okay, now it's the time that you help us. Do something. Check it out. It has been confirmed that Iran did indeed seek assistance from Russia, invoking clauses from mutual assistance in event of threat to sovereignty. Damn it. Moscow, however, resorted to legalistic maneuvering. Since the US and Israeli strikes are framed as targeted operations against terrorist infrastructure rather than a full-scale invasion, the Kremlin interprets this as a case that does not fall under the collective defense provisions. Iran reportedly asked to activate S-400 systems and Krasukha Lear 3 electronic warfare systems at Russia's bases in Syria. We're talking about Khamenei and Tartus to blind Israeli aircraft. Instead, Russia not only refused, but according to some reports, even switched off the transponders and active radar systems at its bases during the flight of the Israeli missiles. I'm guessing Russians want to keep and lay low. They don't want to be next. Yeah, this is yet another ally that Russia had and Putin had signed this mutual defense pact, and they do nothing, absolutely nothing, showing that they can do nothing. Putin did something, by the way. He expressed condolences regarding the death of Khamenei. Yes, Ali Khamenei, the Ayatollah, the leader of Iran, was eliminated right off the get-go, and Putin expressed his sadness to this. That's all he did for Iran. We have the actual letter that he sent to the Iranian president, because they have the Ayatollah and the president. If you want to read the letter, here it is. It's quite funny. I'm not going to waste my time. I think this photo shows you what's up. Let's take the span of 5 years. Let's zoom out. 5 years, Russia and its allies across the global stage. Well, Assad's regime, where Russia still has 2 military bases and they're moving out currently, Assad fell. Then Venezuela fell. Russia could do nothing, and they did nothing when Venezuela actually officially asked for help. Now it is Iran officially asking and evoking this NATO's Article 5 equivalent of their defense pact, and Putin expresses his condolences to the loss of the Ayatollah. I'm enjoying myself. This is like the dominoes fall. We're getting to the big dominoes. You know, the smaller ones, they fell a few years ago. Now we're getting to the big ones, and I'm grabbing popcorn. How exactly was the leader of Iran killed, Khamenei? Well, satellite images show what looked like 3 clean bunker buster punch holes carved straight into the supreme leader's compound in Tehran. The strike ensured not only would anyone be killed above ground, but also deep within the fortified positions underground. Check it out. United States bunker busters, Israel also uses them. They're extremely good, and they are designed for this kind of purposes in the Middle East, because these guys, they're underground, in the mountains, many layers of concrete. Well, not enough. These bombs are designed to penetrate meters and meters of hard surface before they actually explode. This actually is the Khamenei's, the leader's compound, and there were many other government officials with him in this meeting, and they're all being blown to smithereens. It's actually insane how it happened. United States and Israel had been planning this exact attack for months. Check it out. Intelligence spotted 3 leadership meetings at once. That's why they struck in daylight. Yeah, everything happened in broad daylight. The sun was shining. All the videos in daylight. Usually these things happen 4 a.m. Whatever it's the United States or Russia's invasion of Ukraine, usually they start in 4 a.m. Israeli and United States intelligence had been waiting for this moment. Saturday morning, they got a fix on Khamenei, plus 2 other gatherings of senior officials happening simultaneously. Wow, what a coincidence. We cannot miss this. The opportunity was too rare to wait for nightfall. Israeli jets dropped 30 bombs on Khamenei's compound. 30. They also killed security advisor Ali Shamkhani, the commander Mohammed Babkur, and the defense minister Amir Nazirjadeh. Thursday night, Kushner and Witkoff called Trump and told him that the nuclear talks and the missile talks with Iran had failed. Iran would not give up the enrichment of uranium, meaning they wanted a nuclear weapon. That's official, it was public, and Trump was like, hell no, we're not gonna let that happen. Intelligence also showed that Iran was considering striking American targets first. 200 Israeli fighters had hit 500 targets in the largest air campaign in Israeli history. And that says something, because that country is at war every day for the last million years. Pretty much in one day, Israel and United States took out every government official and leader Iran had that had any kind of punch, any kind of importance. They took them all out in one strike. By the way, after the Ayatollah Khamenei was eliminated, they appointed a new Ayatollah, because Iran needs to be led by an Ayatollah. That's how their country works. Well, the temporarily acting supreme leader of Iran, Ayatollah Arefeh, was also killed one day later. So you got to be the leader of Iran. One day later, you're eliminated. This is the most dangerous position in the world right now. Whoever will be next will be eliminated in one day. They will hunt them down like rabbits. He was appointed this morning to replace Khamenei, who was also killed yesterday in strikes by the United States and Israel. This is insane. Alright, we looked at Iranian losses, and by the time you watch this video, everything here is outdated. I'm making this in the morning. You watch it at night. I mean, it's already so different. So forgive me. You'll get another video with updates 2 days. But now let's talk about strikes on United States assets, because Iran did strike back. They did. They used hundreds of missiles and drones, and they're still using them. And the biggest rumor, we cannot confirm nothing of it, but that Iran struck a United States aircraft carrier, U.S.A. Abraham Lincoln, in the Arabian Sea. They fired anti-ship ballistic missiles at it, and this marks the first time that anti-ship ballistic missiles have been fired on a United States aircraft carrier. U.S. Navy has practiced and rehearsed and trained for this specific situation for ever since these carriers and ballistic missiles existed. Nobody has struck them. This has been a red line for everybody. Iran just crossed it. Nobody knows how United States developed defense systems react to ballistic missiles if they can't take them out, because these carriers, they're expensive, so expensive, and they're the basis of United States power projection to anywhere in the world. So no country has attacked them like that. Iran did. We have not yet seen a real-time rehearsal of how these defense systems hold up against a real enemy attack. And we never will find this out, because United States Navy will in no way let us know about that. But this crossed a red line that had never happened before in United States Navy's history. The attack of ballistic anti-ship missiles to its aircraft carriers. On 1st of March, Iran published this video of them shooting down what looks to be a United States Reaper drone, or it could be also Israeli Hermes 900. We don't know if this video is old or new, could be anything, but they published it because they need to publish something. We have unfortunately no information if this happened yesterday or if this happened 2 years ago by the Yemeni rebels that shot down the Reaper. We don't know. But now a first big loss for the United States that actually happened was a friendly fire incident over Kuwait. Now, it's so weird that the United States and Israel have been flying hundreds of aircraft and like the world's most expensive stealth bombers and everything over Iran. No losses, nothing. And then the only loss that happens of an aerial asset happens over a friendly country, and it's shot down by a Western anti-air defense system. We're talking Hawk or Patriot. Since Kuwait has Patriots and Hawks are really old, but they have them. It's ironical that the Russian air defense systems that Iran has or had are not capable of doing this, but then one loss needs to happen, and it's done by Western air defense systems, proving that they actually work and they can do this. This is the F-15 falling down in Kuwait. Both pilot and the weapons officer ejected, and they landed and they survived, but one of them got injured. Here is the landed pilot and the weapons systems officers. The locals found them, and they are now transporting them to the United States bases. All we have is this clip of, I'm guessing this is the weapons systems officers being injured, being in the back of a Land Cruiser. I'm guessing they transport him to the hospital. Yeah, this is the first loss, a remarkable loss of the United States. It's a friendly fire incident. But let me go through also the United States CENTCOM official information that they have published. They only recently published this. U.S. Central Command CENTCOM has released its first official report outlining the military assets used and the targets struck inside Iran. What is weird is that they don't mention F-15s here, although it was mentioned or reported that the Kuwait's friendly fire blue on blue was an F-15. We don't know yet. I'm telling you, there's a lot of fog of war yet. Well, aircraft reportedly deployed. B-2 strategic bombers, wow, F-35s and F-22s, both being the best fighter jets in the world, number one or number two, whichever you believe in more, the argument goes on. F-A-18 Super Hornets, F-16s, A-10 Warthogs, my friends, these are still in use after 53 years, half a century, man, this is amazing. We're seeing A-10s used in 2026 to attack Iran. This is just beautiful. This is exactly what I want to see in my Monday. EA-18G Growler electronic warfare aircraft. This is insanely capable electronic warfare aircraft. Nothing Russia has to offer can compete with this. Notably, F-15 fighter jets have not been used so far in the strike operations. Hey, fog of war, man, I don't know what to tell you. We have to wait. Here is a list of targets that were struck. Also, a submarine. There was a rumor. I cannot confirm this because I didn't find any official reports. But the report was that United States submarine fired a torpedo. It doesn't really happen. United States relies heavily on its air force. If a submarine fires a torpedo on Iranian submarine, this already gives you a proximity indicator, how close that U.S. submarine was to the Iranian submarine. This means this Iranian submarine could have also fired at the U.S. submarine if it could find or see it. Well, only a rumor, don't take it for truth. But now, United States has 3 K.I.As of this war, Operation Epic Fury. U.S. CENTCOM has announced that as part of the ongoing military operation against Iran, Epic Fury, 3 American service members have been killed and 5 seriously injured. The casualties were reportedly the result of Iranian ballistic missile and so-called kamikaze drone strikes on bases located in Bahrain, Kuwait, and the United Arab Emirates. So, 3 K.I.As, 5 W.I.As, an F-15 supposedly friendly fire blue on blue over Kuwait. And now, last big United States loss is this radar system. That we saw a video the first day, 28th of February, we saw Iranian kamikaze drone, Shahed, the same that flies to Ukraine, diving into this $1 billion costing United States. Check it out. Radar. Boom. Explosion. Yeah, this is in a way painful to see because we see Ukraine doing this kind of strikes when they use cheap drones to take massively expensive nuclear bombers. But this is the same scale. I mean, look at the satellite image. It is destroyed 100%, and unfortunately a very accurate Shahed drone, which costs 30,000-40,000 max. This radar supposedly costs $1.1 billion. Give or take even off a few hundred million, it's still very expensive. So yeah, there needs to be a solution against Shaheds, and it's not a Patriot system because they're so expensive. I think Ukraine can show us something with their mobile strike groups using just kinetic means that cost nothing to take down Shaheds like it's nothing. Something to learn from them. But also, the United States has a few tricks up its sleeve because they also used a Shahed drone. Yeah, it sounds weird, but they did. United States actually reverse engineered a Shahed drone and made their own Lucas, which is, let me get the name for you, low-cost one-way attack drone reverse engineered from Iranian Shahed, Lucas. The cost's up to $30,000, explosives 40 to 50 kilograms. It's basically a Shahed made in the United States, and the goal was to create exactly that. Mass-producible, cheap, drone that can overwhelm enemy's air defense systems. And they're using that. And Russians really freaking out. They're not freaking out about the B-2s and F-35s. They're freaking out about this. That Americans have their own Shahed. they're stupid because F-35s and B-2s can level Russia. And they're worried about Lucas drones. Well, it's funny. Yeah. Okay, the next topic, Israel. Iran struck back at Israel, and Israel struck... I mean, let's just watch all the footage, because there's so much. This is Iranian intercepted ballistic missiles. People claim this is cluster munition. I say this is debris. It looks like debris. This is a destroyed ballistic missile, so it falls like that. Looks quite nice. I gotta go really fast because this video is getting really long and I have so much to cover yet. This is another angle of the debris. This is what a destroyed ballistic missile looks like after re-entry into the atmosphere. Israel already released of them hitting Iranian launchers. See, each one of these launchers is a massive truck. Usually they carry one big ballistic missile only. These are air defense systems. But Israel released a video of them taking down tens and tens of these launchers, one by one, even while they're on the move, while they're stationary, it doesn't really matter. They are so effective with it. Look at that. This is the launcher. These missiles usually about 10-15 meters tall, and the truck can usually carry only one missile. So this is the bottleneck. Iran has about 2,500 of these missiles. They have launched about 500-600 right now. They had about 500 launchers, half of which have been destroyed by now. So 250 launchers only capable of carrying one missile to the launch sites, shooting it and going back. And every time they shoot, they probably will lose that launcher. So there's a bottleneck. You have 2,500 of these missiles, but every time you use or a launcher, or maybe by two missiles, you lose that launcher. You can see the problem here. They're just not able to shoot out these missiles because they don't have these launchers. The missile itself is useless without the launcher. You cannot transport it, you cannot arm it. So yeah, this is what Israel is doing, hunting these launchers. Just what we saw in the satellite images. For example, these are underground missile bases in the mountains. These are the openings where the launchers come out, and the openings were struck. It don't matter that Iran has hundreds of missiles inside this base. These openings were pounded until they collapsed. There's no way they can get them out. If they have launchers and missiles inside, they're useless. So yeah, Israeli strategy is just to eliminate all capability of Iran shooting out ballistic missiles. Another instance of how these launchers work, you can just see it very well because Israelis have made a wonderful video for us. Check it out. These missile bases, right? They have many entries and exits, and they come out with these launchers like that. They shoot the missiles and they go back in. As soon as they shoot, there's a heat signature and smoke signature. Drones and F-35s will find this location and destroy the launcher or pound the entry. So there's no way another launcher can exit this same entry. And if they destroy the launcher, well, that's that. It's not like you can make more of them right now. So yeah. This is it, my friends, right now. I will summarize this video with Iran is being pounded back into the Stone Age. They are losing so bad. Russia has not given any kind of support for them. Russian image has really suffered because of Venezuela and because of Iran, what they're doing to Iran right now. Almost every Iranian leader and government official that has any kind of power in the regime has been killed, and it's a total air supremacy for the West. So it's a massive success campaign for the West right now. I'll give you another update on Wednesday in 2 days, but for now it looks like Iran is losing a lot worse than we thought they could. Like, again, even their capabilities were a projection, like the Russian ones. We projected much more strength to them than they actually had. That's all I can say for now. A lot of fog of war. If there's any mistakes in this video, it's fog of war. It happens. I'll clear it out on Wednesday and I'll keep you in the loop. Until my next video, my friends, Slava Ukraini, and bye-bye.